Greetings, Hive. Hope you all are doing well today. Welcome in, welcome in. It is day 63 of my 90-day challenge. And once again, every day from here on out is a new challenge, right? A new milestone, right? So, uh, to all days, once again, not everything, we do our very best each day as much as possible. Take one day at a time. Nothing's gonna be 100%, but you you do your very best as much as possible. So, but yeah, welcome in. Uh, it's been quite a quiet day for myself today. Just focusing on working, trying to get things ready for the 3-day workshop. Once again, the 9-day program is as is. Uh, doing it for the second time, so it's like not don't need to work on it, that part. But yeah, getting ready for that 3-day workshop is, I'm preparing myself, um, preparing my slides for that, so that it can help and assist you guys on your own journey here. So yeah, it's gonna be very busy here on out. So uh, try my very best not to stay too long on the streams, but hopefully try to offer uh, some insights, some help that may help you on your journey. And I do get this a lot, and I hear this a lot, um, especially when at this point where we are having proteins, vegetables, water, and some sort of breathing exercise for us 555, to help us, and most importantly, not getting into a stressful situation, so that most importantly, that uh, we let our body know that we're not in a fight or flight mode, and we're not in a dangerous situation. Hence the stress, right? So having that important aspect of breathing. Once again, breathing is a very more vital than eating food, more vital than drinking water. As we said in the past, how long can we go without food? Multiple of days, sometimes weeks, and for those practitioners, um, or even months, like monks, right? So, um, very important that we have those breathing exercise. So, once again, because we're staying to spring this coming week again, for week number 10, it is very important that we gotta realize that there's some myth out there, or or even say some truth as well, depending on your situation, that I definitely asked a question here. Um, let's get this up on the screen here. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. And we'll check out. We'll use this format. You can see much bigger here. Oops. Let's see if I can get that in a place where you guys can see, not being blocked. Give me 1 second here. Let's put that down here for now. I'll move it back up later. But yeah, I definitely, I've heard this a lot, and through various sources as well, to see if this is true as well, through various podcasts and YouTube, and some research paper out there. I did ask, is it true that we will be backed up if you eat too much protein, right? So as it says here, eating a lot of protein can make some people feel backed up, aka constipation. But protein itself is usually not the direct cause. So the issue is more about what comes with the protein diet and what gets left out. So with that said, once again, usually protein is a highly used source for the body, and a lot of our body is made out of proteins, right? It's utilized a lot, and at the same time, by the end of the digestion and whatnot, usually it leaves as a liquid form, right? But what it's saying here, and this is why we're having proteins, vegetables, water, and air exercise. As it says, is what is not being included with that. So eating protein alone certainly may have that feeling of backup. But once again, the protein is being utilized a lot more, right? For Because our body is made up with a lot of proteins or amino acids, right? So the thing that we don't accompany the protein is having fiber, which is having vegetables a high source of fiber, and having enough fluids. Once again, fluids is our body's made out of 70% fluid. So not drinking enough water, not drinking enough liquid to soften your stool, right? Is what's causing that feeling of feeling backed up. So definitely, as we go into is why high protein diets can cause constipation. So number one, having low fiber intake. Many high protein diets replace fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, and meat and eggs and dairy, right? So obviously, it's just going strict proteins, right? So whether it's not a carnivore diet or anything, but we do emphasize proteins from animal source is a great source, and just fills a lot of nutrient requirements that our body needs. But we do know that there's people that have whether their choice or religious beliefs to be vegan. So there is that side to it, right? So obviously, you will have to consume a lot of legumes to get that protein intake, and if weight loss is very important to you, it's that part is going to be a little bit tough, right? Those plants, once again, those plant foods are the main source of fiber, which keeps stools soft and moving. So once again, removing fiber to push out the help push out the your stool is definitely not going to help if you're removing that main source through vegetables, right? If protein goes up and fiber goes down, stool can become hard, dry, and difficult to pass, right? And once again, vegetables contain a lot of water as well, so it does help in making that soft, and at the same time also helping cleanse out a lot of stuff that's gets caught up in the nooks and crannies of our digestion, our intestines, right? So another, once again, not enough fluids, right? So once again, we do, since day one, we do ask you guys to drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water. Obviously, going from zero to maybe a couple of glasses of water a day and going to 6 to 8 glasses seems, a lot. So once again, we do recommend just taking one extra glass a week, and then hopefully when we get to this part of the, especially in week 10, hopefully you're having your 6 to 8 glasses a day. Very, very important to stay hydrated and keep our body uh, you know replenished with liquid, right? So if you increase protein but don't increase water, you may get a bit dehydrated, making stools drier and harder. Metabolizes Protein metabolism produces waste product like urea that your body excretes through urine. Many people on high protein diets also drink less water, cutting out juice and other drinks without fully replacing them with water. So once again, um, that part. That part I don't really get why being on a high protein diet means, you know, drinking less water, right? That's for me, for myself. Obviously, cutting out juices, and juices is, once again, not a great source of, especially, if they have sugars or, sweeteners in them, right? So obviously, getting enough fluid, drinking enough water, and once again, getting some electrolytes does help, right? So it helps us, absorb, the fluids a lot better, and so also other things that may also happen is, changing gut bacteria. Your gut bacteria loves fiber. When fiber intake drops, this consumption activity can change. So at the same time, our guts may change over time, especially, you're cleansing yourself as well. So it may, change, and at the same time, it may improve as well, right? So if you're eating fast food a lot, then a lot of that stuff is sort of removed, right? So high intakes of animal protein with low fiber may shift the gut microbiome in a way that slows transit or causes more discomfort for some people, right? And then obviously, um, this is a little bit more not keto, because keto kind of removes a lot of the carbohydrates, right? So high fat, high protein, right? So many high protein diets are actually high protein, high fat, and low carbs. Very low carbs, high fat diets can change how the gut moves and sometimes lead to constipation, especially early on, right? Once again, it's very important what we add into our food, right? Having just proteins alone and not having, the ability to make it soft, and having it the ability to push it out as well, may cause that constipation feeling, right? So definitely, once again, it's very important that we continue to accompany that with other things as well. What is not accurate is protein is not like a plug that blocks your intestines. Eating more proteins by itself, if you still eat plenty of fiber and drink fluids, doesn't automatically cause constipation in most healthy people. Some people tolerate high protein just fine. It is the overall diet is balanced. So you definitely, what's very important, you have to balance. You have to balance this as much as possible, right? So we don't lean into one thing than the other, but as especially for this one, we do remove a lot of the carbohydrates, right? So and once again, this is not a natural way of eating. It is a biohack, right? It is a biohack for us to initiate weight loss as much as as possible. And then there is a way, once again, once we reach our health goal, there is what we call, a light spring to summer mode that we get our bodies into to once again help maintain us, and at the same time stay healthy, and more, once again, most importantly, you know help us stay on our way of the way of living, right? So once again, diet has been skewed by the industry to mean weight loss, weight reduction, calorie counting, um, and that's not the case. And once again, it's very important to realize that the meaning of it is the way of life, what our body should be eating, right? Not what our body should be eliminating. So very important that we have to realize that we have to eat a certain way for our body to stay healthy, to maintain, and be optimal, right? And that's what we want to address here, being optimal with our food and nutrition, right? So yes, once again, drink enough water. As protein goes up, increase water intake. A simple rule of thumb many people use: your urine should be light yellow or almost clear most of the day. So once again, if you're peeing and it starts to get really dark yellow, then yes, you are not drinking enough fluids, right? That it should be as clear as possible. That should not look like iced tea, right? So it's very important that you drink enough fluids. If you suddenly add protein shakes or bars, bump your water up as well. Once again, these things are a powdery form, and once again, obviously, we don't drink it in straight up in its powder form. We mix in our water or our favorite liquid into that, right? So it's definitely important that you know we increase our water as much as possible. And once again, we don't really cut out carbs, but once again, the source of your carbs is very important. So getting your carbs through pasta, rice, bread, right, potatoes, is not very ideal. They do not contain much fiber to help our digestive tract clear out. That's why we keep some fruits and vegetables and legumes to uh, help us in clear our systems, especially skins of these fruits and vegetables is definitely a huge source of fiber as well, right? There are your main fiber sources that keep bowel moves regular, right? So once again, for my Ozempic, it doesn't help me a lot, right? So I definitely, I really, you know, the weight loss happens when it starts fading away. So I did take it on Friday, and once again, hopefully the rest of the week it starts getting better for myself, as Ozempic acts a way where it slows down food exiting your stomach so that you feel full, right? But for myself, yeah, it's another story, right? So, and as always, once again, there is no heavy exercise on this 90-day challenge for the first round. Very important that we just we don't confuse as much as put so many on your plate that it ends up being just overwhelming. You definitely want to prioritize you focusing on the nutrition. Now once you start locking that down, then just having a simple walk is enough to get the metabolism going. So that will help stimulate your metabolism. And once again, long periods of sitting can make constipation worse. So if you're working a desk job, it's gonna it's gonna be tough, especially on a very dense, low fiber, high protein diet. So movement is very important to just have your body moving and moving that your digestive down, right? So well, there's quite a lot here as well. We won't get into it too much. Once again, it's very important that you know very important that you know protein alone. Sure, it may feel like it's you feel constipation, but it does not mean eating protein will back you up. It is the what is missing, what we're not eating with the protein is causing that feeling, right? So once again, not having enough fruits and vegetables, and we'll say just vegetables if weight loss is your thing, right? At this time, we're at this stage of the program, week heading into week 10 here tomorrow. um, no sweet stuff, right? Sweet tasting stuff that could even include vegetables that have a sweet taste to it, especially when you have been cleaning uh, yourself, your taste bud, your palate. Certain foods will start to taste sweet. Certain foods that used to be bland will start tasting sweet. So any hints of sweetness may trigger your body to go into a winter mode, to store, to hold on, to ration your calories to last you to the winter. So it's very important that we remove that sweet tasting feeling for the time being, especially when we're trying to hit a health goal, right? So, and once again, as always, just always drink 6 to 8 glasses of water. Stay hydrated as much as possible. And once again, the the indicator of you having enough or not enough liquid is basically your urine. It has to be cleared almost as like water, right? If it's trying to look like iced tea color, dark, right, it means you're not drinking enough fluids. So for now, like I said, if you have the standards of drinking water daily, every week, just increase 1 glass of water as much as possible to till the time you get to 6 to 8 glasses, right? So definitely important. Once again, is what is not included for us eating protein is definitely causing that constipation feeling. So have those fibers, drink enough liquids, and definitely once again having a breathing exercise as well to just feel less stress is going to help a lot. Just keep you your body's digestive moving, and helping you feel clear and just say less constipated. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I'm not gonna stay too long here. Once again, tomorrow I may not stream, or I may stream early tomorrow. I won't be streaming on my regular Twitch channel tomorrow. I am unfortunately going to a hockey game, and unfortunately is the word, because my Vancouver Canucks are not doing great. They're last in the league, and at the point I don't really care if they're last in the league. What I do care about is that they have lost I don't know what the culture is anymore for that team. And once again, we in past sessions we talked about the importance of establishing a culture. It's going to be very important, and just help everyone move to a direction. And as of now, there is no culture in that organization, right? And so, um, trading away two of their captains in a short period of time is like there is no continuation or handing off to the next captain, right? So I don't know what this team is, right? So unfortunately, this was planned months ahead before the season started. So my friends is organizing it, so I'm just attending just because of that. But I really do not want to go. I'd rather be here with you guys. I do not want to spend time watching, a sinking ship at the moment. All right, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Once again, if this has been helpful, feel free to like or give it the thumbs up. This is being streamed on 3 different platforms, so feel free to follow or subscribe, whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. You can also head over to my QR code there on screen, and I want to make sure I put this back here. There we go. Or head over to coachryanj.com to get updates when I go live. Hit those notification buttons to get notifications on your phone or on your electronical device when I go live. So tomorrow will be an early one, because I'll probably be home late after the game there. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. As always, continue to raise your environment so that you can raise yourself in that environment, and one day you'll be the impact for your own community, your friends, your family, your colleagues, right? Your own community, right? So you just never know what someone's going through each day, and having your presence there, whether it's just compliment or just saying hi or a simple hug, can go a long way, and may ignite that fire in them to pay it forward and just turn things around, right? So very important that just be kind to others. It can go a long way for their future as well. Things doing kindness may return to you tenfold, right? Once again, you can be that difference maker for someone else. All right, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I wish you all a wonderful evening, a rest of your days, and have a wonderful week ahead. Take good care.